right? As a father, as a husband, as
Yeah.
so that was a big ego check. And I also learned a lot of things, but I also helped affirm a lot of things, which was there's a reason why I didn't want to go into that world, because there, at least in this big old part of that, like that corporate world, because they have these, speaking of systems, they systemize everything, but they do it in my opinion, the wrong way. It's
Hmm.
yeah, it beats the freedom and the creativity out of the individual. And
Right.
yeah, and then the people that do climb the corporate ladder are the ones that want to fit into the system, but you're not actually making any changes, really. So
Right.
you're just checking boxes, off somebody's report who they generated to justify their job. So
Yeah, it's hard. And as I've owned my own business, I've definitely see better why companies do the things they do for
right.
sure.
Hmm.
Because when I started hiring coaches, I was like, wow, making sure that they like have creative freedom when they're speaking with their clients, but also are like generally following the thing that I've proven that's worked over the last 3 years. And like
Yeah, it's your program.
where totally. And so, and making sure that they have personality, their own thing, but they are on brand. And
Hmm.
it's definitely tough. And I can see that if you were doing it with hundreds, thousands, whatever it might be, people, it's kind of like if you're trying to control a big group, you're going to like make rules to make it easier and like keep
Yep.
everything more organized. So I get it, but I know that having a alternative way to run a big business also requires so much intentionality and just setting things up different often from the get-go. And that's tough.
Yeah, that's true. And then that's why I think what you see with a lot of companies that have started in the last 5, 10 years, specifically people through social media, you're finding people like yourself that are in the early 20s, early 30s that have one, two, three companies, and they're companies. It's not it's
Hmm.
not the social media company, which is if like Gary Vaynerchuk.
Hmm.
Okay, so he makes a very valid point. He put it out there. It's like every one of you listening right now that has some kind of following or business online. If Instagram or Facebook disappeared, what would happen to your career? Right?
Yep.
Like, would you take a little stumble? Would you die? Would it not affect you like in the least bit? And it's a pretty valid point. Like, do you actually have a system, or do you have something that's reliant on social media strictly? Right? You haven't
Yeah.
built it outside of that. And I think that individuals like yourself and like Matt Best and the guys at Black Rifle Coffee Company and these different ones that have built these brands, and then they branched out through social media, become something where they get to promote it and have some fun with it. But their company now, they do have an HR department. They do have to deal
Hmm.
with payroll and everything else like a normal corporate environment would do. But their thing is, I don't want to see my people in the office for 10, 12 hours. Like, I want
Right.
to see you in the morning when we check in, and I want you to get the hell out and go do whatever you're supposed to do.